Good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to this particular event. Karibu sana kwa wale ambao wanajiunga nasi for the first time. Tupo karibu, tupo ndani. My name is Otieno Mjomba. We are going to have a team that is going to take us through all this. Like to start by posing a question. Has been your holiday? How is your holiday? Kama nimekuwa ya furaha, mambo yamekuwa vipi? Has been the holiday. For the class 8, those that have just received their results, how is the feeling after receiving the results? For the candidates from FOS, how is the feeling to be free at last after 4 years of being in high school? Definitely. The reason why today we are here, we want to dig deep into uncovering our future, and you understand what the future is. So, welcome aboard. I want to welcome part of the guests that are going to speak to us. So, first of all, I want to introduce somebody here, people here. They'll just introduce themselves, and then after that, we will come back to continue. So, I want to start with Bwana Peter Shikuku. Just say hi to members around. Just greet everyone.
I think I'm very clear, Mr. Tieno, and everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bwana Shikuku.
How are you?
We are good.
I'm good also. Thank you very much.
That's great. I hope that you are keeping safe wherever you are too.
I'm very, very, very.
Thank you. Another person that is going to be of a blessing to us is the girl child. She's called Madam Terry. So, Madam Terry, please, wherever you are.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm happy to be part of you.
Yes.
Happy for this afternoon, and I know we are going to interact more. Welcome, all of you. I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Terry. Just a request that keti karibu na mwangaza kidogo. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. So I have a team of guys here, and I want to acknowledge each and every person. So I want to start with who? Wacha nianze na nani? Ruth Kinyanjui, just say hi to us.
Hi.
How are you, Ruth?
I am fine, thank you.
You're good? Great. Karibu sana. Tabitha Kaniki? Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome aboard. Amish. Hey, Amish.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You're good?
Yes.
Sawa, karibu sana. Sophia Mwikamba. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Naona unasafiri. That's great. Thank you for that. We go to Peter. Peter, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome aboard, Peter. Njiri. Njiri, how are you? Njiri.
I'm fine.
Good. Karibu sana. Rose Buibo. Rose Buibo, hi. Rose is a bit, Rose is not getting us clearly. Tamara, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome aboard. Diana Anyango, how are you? Diana, mic check. Okay. Victoria, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome on board. Tanisha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome on board too. Marianne Kanyiva, good afternoon. I hope I've pronounced it well. Marianne. Marianne is missing. Okay, so I hope I've acknowledged. Oh, Rose Buibo, you can't hear me. Rose, how are you? Can you now get me clearly? Okay, Rose, it might be an issue with your audio. So just, Rose, you can log out and then you join again the meeting. That will help us. That will help us in making sure that you are okay. That is Rose. Just log out and then you log in again. Mel, how are you? Mel? Okay, Mel hatujasikia lakini tumeona uki-unmute. It's okay. Nani sijamtaja? Nani sijamtambua? So I hope you guys are good and based on your voices, then it means that everything is okay. Now, we are all here with a purpose, and our purpose is to try and understand, try and know, try and find out how are we able to change our present and make our future a better thing for everyone. Future that will transform and change the society, the future that we want. And that one takes us to the topic of our discussion. So just giving the ground rules. Make sure that you mute when necessary and only unmute when you're supposed to or when you're raising a concern. Two, that this is supposed to be an interactive forum. So if by any chance you have a question, then you can post a question on the chat area. The question can either be a private one or to everyone, depending on how you want to address it. And then three, make sure that you interact also with the speakers and answer, give your concern, give your input on a particular topic of discussion, ili mambo yaweze kuwa mazuri sana kwetu sote. Now, here we go. Look at this particular image. Look at that particular image. And from that image, just type a word that you can get that comes into your mind when you look at the image. Just a word comes into your mind when you look at this image, the image that is now on your screen. Not that one, the next one, that one. Whatever comes into your mind, just write it down on the chat column. Okay? Diana, I've received yours. Great. Getting comments. Whatever, a word, just a word, just a word. Acha tuone wale ambao tumewanyima nafasi. A word. Pyramid, yes. A word. Yes, clouds, pyramids. Clouds, pyramids, yes. Bring them. Clouds, pyramid. Clouds, pyramid. Clouds, pyramid. Yeah. Clouds, pyramid. Clouds, pyramid. I'm getting them. Kwani kila kitu ni clouds, pyramid? Andiko. Sheep, guy. Stranded, pyramid surrounded by clouds. Guy, that one is a sentence, but it's okay. That's great. Sheep, pyramid, stranded, clouds, 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 and everything. Wonderful. That is still okay. So your concern is great. Now, from this type of cloud, From that cloud that we are seeing, just a moment, as we try to bring someone in. Just a moment. Sorry for that. I was trying to connect someone in. Ruth says that it depicts uncertainty, which is almost similar to almost. Ruth, that is good. Uncertainty. And now, when you look at that particular cloud, that particular pyramid, look at whatever is at the top. Look at whatever is at the top. It's as if we have smoke coming out at the top, huh? And the smoke is white. Color white depicts, it has different significance and different meanings. Huh? And part of it is, it might be that it shows hope, that the future, the base might be strong, but at the top we are looking at the hope. By the end of it all, we must be hopeful for the journey that we want to take. And that is why now, getting to this, talking about hope, are you familiar with this face? Who is that? Tell me. Are you familiar with the face? Which brand is this? Hebu nitumie chat if you're familiar with that face. Naona. Sasa hapa ndipo. We. Hey, okay, I know. You guys know about this guy, KFC. So when you look at the face, you see KFC. But what is KFC, by the way, in full? KFC in full? Kenya what? KFC in full. KFC in full. What is KFC in full? Let me see. Yeah, I've got one. Sophia. Where Ruth? Uh-huh. Sophia, Ruth, guys, Rose. Uh-huh. Okay. That's great. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So are you familiar with the story of this particular guy? Are you familiar with the story of this particular guy? So part of the lesson that you want to learn today as we uncover our future is the story, very beautiful, wonderful story of this guy and why he is supposed to inspire us to achieve what we want to achieve in our future. Now, his name is Mr. Colonel Sanders. Okay, Colonel Sanders. This is a KFC guy, and you are told that he failed 109 times. 109 times before succeeding. And just a sneak peek about Colonel Sanders as we talk about the story of hope is that he was born in around 1890. And when he was 6 years old, his father passed away, leaving him to cook and care for his siblings. And when he was in the 7th grade, the 7th grade is around, I think, class 7 or 8. He dropped out of school and left home to go work at a farmhand. At 16, he faked his age, to enlist in the army, the U.S. Army. After being honorably discharged a year later, he got hired by the railway as a laborer. Again, he got fired after picking up a fight with a co-worker. When he was busy doing all that, when he was still working as a railway guy, he decided to go back to school and studied law. And then he ruined his legal career by getting into another fight. Later, he was forced to move back with his mom and get a job selling life insurance. You know the insurance thing? Again there, he got fired for insubordination. Unfortunately or fortunately, the guy did not give up. Not giving up to fight, but not giving up whenever all this were happening. Then around 1920, he founded a ferry boat company. Remember, amefutwa all through. Later, he tried cashing in his ferry boat business to create a lamp manufacturing company, only to find out that another company already sold a better version of his lamp. He couldn't catch a break again. It was until age 40 that he began selling chicken dishes in a service station. Wale wa kuhawk mnakumbuka, you know how it happens, ndio? When guys are hawking food stuff from one place to another. As he began to advertise his food, an argument with a competitor resulted in a deadly shootout. 4 years later, he bought a motel, which burned to the ground along with his restaurant. Haya. Yet this determined man rebuilt and ran a new motel until World War II forced him to close it down again. Following the war, he tried to franchise his restaurant. His recipe was rejected 109 times. By that time, he had coined it to Kentucky Fried Chicken. However, when this particular business was booming up, again another problem happened. But that did not deter his spirit. So after years of failures and misfortunes, Sanders finally hit it big at the age of 65. Remember, KFC currently is an international brand. And he won, by the time he was selling KFC to another company, he sold it at $15.3 million. And at this particular time, he still remains the face of the company, the face of the logo, the brand. When you look at his face, you see KFC. You don't see the failure in him. You see KFC. Unfortunately, the guy passed on at 90 years as a result of pneumonia. But there is a lesson that is important that is going to determine our future, as we are going to get it from the story. Even if you are overwhelmed by rejection or discouraged by setbacks, remember the story of him. Fired from multiple jobs, ruined his legal career, was set back by the Great Depression, fires, and World War II, yet still created one of the largest fast food chains in the world. Sanders won't let anything or anyone defeat him. We should all be more like Colonel Sanders. For the candidates, the class 8 students that have received their results, some of us here might be asking ourselves, why did it have to happen this way? Why me? Maybe the results that you received, that you got, are not clear indication of the person that you are. And so you are there wondering what is happening. Remember this great guy. He never, ever gave up in his journey to become the best when it comes to food industry. So to start by having this particular verse from the Bible, Jeremiah 29:11, that says, "For I know the thoughts and plans that I have for you, says the Lord, thoughts and plans for welfare and peace, and not for evil, to give you hope in your final outcome." One of our speakers is going to expand much on the same, as it is part of the discussion and the story that we are going to learn about. So I will pose a question to you. What is a future? What is a future according to you? Ukiangalia future kwako, unaiangalia in what perspective? Are you seeing the inspirations that you have? Can you look at what you want to become? Can you see the better self of you 20 years to come? What is future like? Life is in phases, and the ultimate phase is the future when you can live a worthy life branded by inspirations, charisma, and values. And these are the things that are going to determine who we are: inspirations, charisma, and values. You've heard about charismatic leaders, values around. You've heard of why we should not do this. This is not okay. Those are the values that define us. Our personality, skills, likes, and dislikes change over time. Some years back, maybe you loved crop tops. Now you like a different one. Some years back, maybe you loved, for the girls, you loved wearing skirts. And now you like wearing the trousers. Things do change. For the boys, sometimes back you loved playing soccer, and now you are not a guy that loves soccer. Maybe you are into basketball. So remember, change is inevitable. And whether you are intentional about change or not, these things must happen with time. Personality, skills, likes, and dislikes are going to be there. For now, you might like me. Tomorrow, you might dislike me. We tend to think that the person we are today is the person we will always be. That is the greatest um, failure that we always depict or come and create in our mind. That if today I am like this, then tomorrow I'll also be the same person. Daniel Gilbert, one of the philosophers, tells us that that is just a mirage. Change is inevitable, but it is not out of your control. So currently, we are looking at how do we change? How do we change and make sure that this particular change has a particular impact in our lives? Remember, we are work in progress. But to us, we think that we have finished. We are finished. By the time we were born, kazi iliisha. We are work in progress. Tunasema kwa Kiswahili, hujafa hujaumbika. So kila wakati tunazidi kuumbuliwa na Mwenyezi Mungu. So what is our future? Part of it that is important for you, you can have it down: strategies to help you become your desired future self. These are very, very important to us because remember, we are planning now. And if you are planning, we must strategize. We must plan well enough. So what are the strategies that will help us to become the desired future person that we want? Very, very important. And the first one is that you must distinguish your former, current, and the future selves. You know where you are currently, you know where you were before, and you know where you are heading to. So you must distinguish the three: the past, the current, and the future. As a rule, people tend to place extreme emphasis on their present selves. We are currently concentrating on what we are. We are currently looking at the results that happened now. We are currently focusing on why did it have to be this way. For the Form 4s, we are currently looking at why did Chem Paper 2 turn out to be like this? Why did biology become like this? Why? We tend to cling to our current identities and speak in incredible definitive terms about who we are. Maybe you like saying that mimi huwa sijui hayo, mimi sijui, I'm an introvert, I'm not good with people, I'm not good at this particular game. Remember, that is wrong. These labels leave little wiggle room for a change and growth, creating what Dr. Ellen Langard calls mindlessness. The moment you start talking about I cannot, then it will have a lasting impact in your life. So you must come out of this part of seeing yourself in a negative perspective. When you assume a label about yourself, you stop seeing alternatives. So you won't see any opportunity that is coming your way. If something is presented as an accepted truth, alternative ways of thinking do not even come for consideration. That is what Mr. Lanka said some time back. So be very keen with how you work on your current, your future, and your former. Don't just stick to the things and label yourself as one of the failures. Don't start looking at yourself as mimi na this particular subject, I cannot. I know. I was told by someone that I cannot, so I can't. You must do away and you must break from that yoke for you to get to the future. Instead of labeling yourself and focusing on who you are today, recognize how much you've grown and changed from your former self. If you are to ask yourself the same question, how were you some time back? Will you still brandish or label yourself the same way you're labeling yourself now? Some time back, you didn't know how to play soccer. You didn't know even how to walk. But now you are walking and you're very fast. Some time back, you didn't know even how to stand on stage. But now you can do that. So don't again label yourself in a negative way. Remember this phrase: measure the gain, not the gap. Don't look at the glass as half full, as half empty. Look at it in terms of how full it is. Half full, not half empty. Measure the gain and not the gap. That is very, very important for you. Very, very important for you. And then the step two, imagine your desired future self. We are from distinguishing the former, the current, and the future. Now, imagine it. Imagination is very, very important. And Albert Einstein, one of the greatest guys in science, said that imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world, and all there ever will be to know and understand. So try to imagine. How about tomorrow? This is me. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. Most of the people, when you ask them, do you want to be teachers? Do you want to be a teacher? Most of us here will say no. But remember, teachers change the world. Understand that. So you ask yourself, what do you want to be? Imagine that. Research has shown that shaping your future self requires deliberate practice. So if, for example, it starts by knowing what you want to be in the future and then practice to be the person that you want to be. Look at our guy, Sanders. He never gave up. Even after kuuza kuku mahali fulani na bado kukawa na shida, he still continued because he knew what he wanted to be. Deliberate practice. You need to develop yourself toward a specific goal that you want to achieve. Remember, you can't effectively grow without direction to that growth. And that is why I will always tell my people that I'm talking to, I will always tell you that you need to have ambition. What do you want to be in life? Don't just, right now, when you're asked, in the next 20 years, what do you want to be in life? Utasikia wengine anabakia, I don't know, sijaamua, bado wazazi wajaniambia. It starts with you. Know the person you want to be in life. And after knowing that, then work towards that. Remember, we are work in progress. In addition, research shows that both motivation and hope stems from the combination of clear desired outcome and belief that you can succeed. So for you to have motivation, then you must have clear outcome. And that is why we are strategizing for our future. It's very, very important for us to know that you can never be the person that you don't know. You must just know what you want to be. Your future self is not someone you discover, but someone you decide to be. So you must imagine. One way to begin that imaginative process is through journaling. Have you ever found yourself writing down the things that you want to be? Part of the discussion that we are going to have will be that. We're going to be asked questions. Have you ever found yourself writing down the person that you want to be? Write these things. Start by asking yourself, what are 1 to 3 things I could do today to make progress towards my future self? Any action you take will likely be outside your comfort zone. If you don't take any action, you will be still within your comfort zone. Start thinking, be creative, be imaginative, because this will help us move along. Understand that the next stage, change your identity narrative. You are from distinguishing, then imaginating. Now, change the narrative. Because you know the person you want. You have already looked at the image of the person you want, the person in the mirror. I want to be this. And you have already started planning for that. Then now, change your identity narrative to be and to fit the person you want to be. If you want to be a doctor, start behaving like one. If you want to be an engineer, start behaving like one. If you want to be a teacher, behave like one. If you want to be the president, start behaving like one. You don't expect people to come and pull you from where you are to make you the person that you want to be. It starts from you. That's why we played the song Hero by Mariah Carey. The hero lies in you. Identity is far more powerful than personality because identity drives behavior, which one which over time becomes personality. Your personality, the sum of your consistent attitudes and behavior, is merely a byproduct of your identity. And you must understand that your identity narrative is the story you tell about yourself, the past, the present, and the future. If your identity is rooted in your past and present alone, that fixed mindset can make personality feel permanent. But if you focus on envisioning your future self instead of fixating on your current self, it becomes possible to change your identity narrative. If I like giving this example of students in my career as a teacher and dealing with different people, in one way or another, I've found students that say that they are not gifted in a particular subject, and more so, the subject of my choice, Kiswahili. And so, you ask this particular person now, how are you performing before? And then they'll tell you, I was doing well. What about now? I'm not doing well. So I believe I cannot do well. If in the past you are doing well, there must be a disconnect that happened in your current and that is going to affect your future. And all lies in your mind by labeling yourself. So why don't you look at it in a different perspective of let me try and see how it will be tomorrow. It's a journey of 1,000 miles. Starts just by making a step. So you must make that big and bold step forward. Don't look at the steps that you made at the back. Don't be like the Lord's wife. Because you remember what happened. If you turn to look at the past, then you might find yourself turning to be a pillar of salt. But when you look at the future, then you might find yourself marching to the promised land. It is very, very important for us. Telling people who you want to be is incredibly powerful because it will compel you to make your behavior consistent with your new story. So waambie kwamba I want to be a journalist, I want to be this, I want to be, walk, talk, behave like that particular person that you want to be. Identity narrative. Read stories about that particular person. Start going through different journals about this career that you want to be. Have information about this. That is why when guys were being interviewed for the past KCP results, they were all saying, I want to be a neurosurgeon. I want to be all this because they have already identified the person they want to be. And now they are working to change their narrative. I hope that that is you are getting what is important about the strategies and you know how you're going to strategize about your future. Start acting like your future self rather than your former self. Very important. The person that you want to be, start acting like that. If you see, if most of us, we look at it, we look at our teachers, our parents as the role models, and we want to be better than them, maybe in the same profession and better than them, then start dealing and working with daddy or mommy towards your journey of attaining whatever you want to be in future. If your daddy is an engineer and you want to be an engineer, then go work with daddy. Go to these particular different plants that daddy is involved in. See how things are happening. Start packing yourself. Embrace uncertainty and change. Embrace learning and failure. Just like Sanders. Never be defined by now. Engage in deliberate practice so that over time you grow into your own ever-evolving story. Take action and invest in building your future identity. This is how you become the version of you that you most want to be. Those three strategies are going to lay the foundation. And now, whatever we are going to learn next is going to cement everything that we are of uncovering our future. But remember that you must not give up, because in one way or another, you are going to meet challenges. You are going to fail. That one be rest assured of. You are going to fail. And when you fail, you must understand that you must not look at the failure. Look at that particular failure as a learning process so that it helps you to navigate your way past the same if it happens on your way towards your future. So, boys and girls, allow me now to welcome this great guy called Pastor Peter Shikuku. Pastor Peter Shikuku, for those that are meeting us for the first time, is a diploma holder, Transformation Church Leadership, and he's also a teacher, specialized in guidance and counseling, and a pastor, Gospel Centers International, that is at Feather Estate. He's a guidance and counseling head of department at Rockfields Group of Schools, and well-versed with children and youth counseling. He is an author and a motivational speaker. And so, Pastor Peter Shikuku, it is now my honor to welcome you to speak to these great boys and girls in terms of how we uncover our future. Welcome, Peter Shikuku.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tieno, for the work well done. The introduction has been great. Actually, I have learned a lot, and thank you for the work that you have done. Allow me also to say welcome, our wonderful children. We are very grateful that you have that you've taken your time to join us this afternoon, so that we may go through this program together. We are doing this so that we may help you to uncover your future. We are calling this topic Uncover My Future. And the meaning of the word uncover, first, it is the opposite of the word cover. Something that is covered is closed, and something that is uncovered is something that is left open. You know, our future, we don't know what our future holds for us, but we believe there is a future that we have. There is the power of believing in the future that you would want to have. And that is why we are here with you today, so that we may help you to understand that there is a future that you need to know that you have as a child of God. And that's why there is that quote of Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, which has been read to you. And this is God himself speaking. For I know the plans that I have for you. The plans to give you a future of hope, a future of greatness, a future of good things. And boys and girls, you need to understand that that future doesn't come easily. There must be deliberate effort that you have to work towards that future. And that is bringing me to help us understand what we call self-esteem. Self-esteem. Remember that this is one area that has made many people to struggle to understand who they are, because they can't understand their personalities, they can't understand their self-esteem, they can't understand their responsibility in making sure that they uncover the future they need to have. And that is why today, boys and girls, we want to speak to you about what is self-esteem. What is self-esteem? A point that I have written there is that self-esteem is an individual's subjective evaluation of their own worth. I want you to get that point right. Individual subjective evaluation of their own worth. Each and every one of you, including myself, we have our worths. You have your personal worth. I have my personal worth. But how do I evaluate that worthness in me? This is what we refer to self-esteem. When self-esteem is low, it deprives you the opportunity to live a normal life and to understand that there is a future that you need to have. So you must evaluate it. The evaluation is whereby you find out, what have I done right? What have I not done right? How can I improve myself? I am a girl child. I am a boy child. I have this, I am short, I am tall, because people are struggling with very many things. If they are short, they are complaining of their heights. If they are tall, they feel like they are a bit unique. If they are plump, that is a problem to them. If they are thin, that is a problem to them. But if you can come to the point of understanding your personality and appreciating who you are, that is helping you to understand yourself esteem. So self-esteem encompasses beliefs about oneself. For example, I am unloved, or I am loved, I am worthy. These are some of personal confession that you need to make about who you are. There are people who are struggling with the point that I am unloved. I remember last year I was handling a certain case of a girl who was saying that we are formed in our home, and I feel that the love given to my brothers is not what I am given. So she's struggling with the fact that she is not loved. And this is something that I know some of us, we could be going through. So you need to know that when you have belief about yourself, I am loved, I am capable, I have a good future, I can make it. Such kind of speaking about yourself and belief will help you to achieve your self-esteem. So how do you build and maintain positive self-esteem? Remember, there is a negative self-esteem, which is the opposite of what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about negative self-esteem. I'm talking about positive self-esteem, because when you understand that you need to develop positive self-esteem, it will help you to build a great man or a great woman that you need to be. And as Mr. Tina has told us, this begins from now. We cannot wait, because if you wait for tomorrow, if you cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow you have to plan for it today. You have today to plan for tomorrow. So number one, don't compare yourself to others. Boys and girls, each and everyone in this life is created uniquely. The way I am created is not the way my elder brother is created, is not the way my mother or my father were created. It means that I am myself, and I have to accept the way I am. If I am a short person, that is who I am. If I am tall, that is who I am. If I am plump, that is who I am. So one of the first and most important steps to achieving a positive self-outlook is to stop comparing yourself to others, boys and girls. Comparison should be used on a positive way. Like, let me say that I admire the former president of America, Obama. I admire the late Martin Jr. King, Luther King. I admire them. And that my admiration, I should just use my admiration to work towards becoming a better person even than they were. But some of us, we normally compare ourselves even in class, in life. I want to be like so-and-so. Don't compare yourself with others. You can only work with what you have. Accept who you are. And that is probably a lot. So stop focusing on what others have and focus on what you, and that you is in capital, you. If it is Peter, it is Peter. If it is Tabitha, it is Tabitha. If it is Gloria, whoever is here, even Mary Ann, it is you. You have and embrace it. When comparing yourself to others, you will never know what could be going on behind the scenes. Remember, the grass isn't always greener. So it is always not always greener. So you can be looking at so and so and admiring them, and you are like, why can't I be like so and so? Please, you don't know what they have made themselves of. Accept who you are. And then number two, identify your strengths and areas for opportunity. Boys and girls, I want to give you 4 words. I call them SWOT. SWOT, S stand for strength. W stand for weaknesses. O stand for opportunity. T stand for threat. What do I mean? In life, you must understand that there is a strength you have. Then it is also good to accept our weaknesses. And then we should also understand that we have opportunities in life and that we also have threats in life. So how do we go about all these things? I am saying here, if you are not feeling as confident or positive about certain aspects of your life, it is time to determine why. Why is it that you are struggling to accept who you are? By creating a list of your strengths, it is good. If I told we had enough time, I would have challenged us that take a list. Tell me all the positive things about you, the things that you feel are your strength. Are you audible? Are you outspoken? Are you confident? Are you brave? Are you intelligent? Those are some of the things that
Sorry
are
for that. Sorry for that. There is
okay.
glitch from your end. Now you are okay. Now you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I don't know whether it is a network issue, but sorry for that. So as I continue, I'm talking about these positive strengths about ourselves. And I'm telling everyone here, what are your strengths? Are you outspoken or you are not outspoken? What kind of a person are you? So I want to say that by creating a list of your strengths and areas for improvement, you can bring to the forefront all of the positive qualities about yourself. And when you bring them about yourself, you will identify areas you can work on. Remember, you need to work on yourself. I need to work on myself. If I am weak at a certain area, I need to improve myself. Why is it that I'm too fearful to face life? Why is it that I'm too fearful about my future? So you need to understand that you have to start working on those areas so that you improve, Remember, practice makes perfect. In fact, there is a point here that I've said, you need to start with what we call baby steps. Remember, when a child is born, they don't just walk at once. They begin from a crawling point of view, and then from one point, they start moving one step at a time. Understand that there is one step at a time in life. You are still maybe in primary or in high school. That is the level you are. You cannot be as someone who has already gone to university and has graduated. Just admire them, but don't use that to put you down, because that will affect you. So don't tell yourself negative words like I am unable. Don't use these negative tones about yourself. Tell yourself, I am able. I can make it. I have a good future. My future is blessed. I can be the doctor or the neurosurgeon that I want to be. Number 3, be open to change. We have said that change is inevitable. Girl child who is here, you must accept that as you grow, there are changes that you encounter. Boy child, you must accept that there are changes you encounter. That is why you are taught what we call adolescent stage. It is a stage that is taking you from childhood to adulthood. You start experiencing things. So even in life, there are changes that are inevitable. As you work on embracing your strengths and working on areas for improvement, it is important to update your list of areas for opportunity as you grow and change. Now, for those who did class 8, you are going to Form 1. What are the things that you need to work on as you go to Form 1? Maybe you are expecting a certain performance that never came. I am here to tell you, you can make a change when you go to high school, because that is another level that is giving you an opportunity to work better on yourself. Making the list is one thing, but motivated to put in the work and make the changes is another. What do I mean? I can tell you to write about positive things about yourself, but if you do not work on them and practice them on a daily basis, then you cannot realize your potential. So don't give up. I used to tell people, if you find yourself in a point of giving up, please, instead of giving up, stand up or get up, so that you can continue pursuing the future that we are talking about. If you want to uncover your future, don't give up. Turn your fears or reservations into motivation. And remember, you are putting in the effort for a great cause. We are talking to you as individual. There is a part of your parents, there's a part of your teachers, there's a part of your friends, but you as an individual, you must accept change. Number 4, be realistic. Understand who you are. Being realistic with you will help you. You know, I was, okay, I'm sorry to say this, but it is a point that surprised me. I know that each and everyone has been given their potential. I must appreciate my potential as I am today. If, okay, some of you, we interact in school. I don't teach all subjects. I teach 2 subjects while we have around 6 subjects in school. Why have I chosen to teach 2 subjects? Because I'm realistic to myself. I do not want to give myself pressure of what I cannot do. It is better I concentrate on what I can do, because that is where I have control over, but not what I cannot do, that I do not have control over. So change is not something that happens overnight. It is a process. And perfection doesn't just exist. You must work on it. So you are working to be the best version of yourself. Please, when you read a book, there are books that are so nice to be read. They are so interesting, meaning that the writer sat down and thought of the ideas that would come out so clearly. Please, you need to sit down with yourself and write the best version of yourself that can be read. And then identify your best version of you. Who are you? Maybe the names that are here, if I call your name, it is because I know you. Mary Ann, my daughter, Gloria, and even Tabitha, Peter, there are good names here. There is Peter, there is Adrian, there is Amish. All of you, you must understand that you need to have the best version of you as you uncover your future. So also consider that everyone makes mistakes. Boys and girls, people make mistakes. Understand, we make mistakes. When you make mistakes, does that mark the end of you? No. Mistakes are opportunities for us to learn. If you experience a setback, don't beat yourself up about it. Learn from it and move on. If I make a mistake today, that is not the end of me. That is not the end of life. I can still become better and better. So let us learn from our mistakes. Sawa sawa. And then number 5, surround yourself with a support squad. Here I'm talking about friendship. I'm talking about people who are surrounding you in your life, maybe adults and also people of your age, in your school, where you are. Who are the people who are in your circle? Those who are in your circle will help you to be a good person or to be a bad person. And remember, it is you who has the control of those who are in your circle. The people who love and care about you will be your biggest support system. Are they your parents? Are they your friends? Are they your age mates? Who are these people who are your support? And also in the journey that is helping you to become the best person of your version. Surround yourself with people who invigorate and energize you and make you feel positive about reaching your goals. Are they people who are encouraging you? Peter, you can become a great man. there is a potential in you. You can make it in life. Those are the people whom you should surround yourself with. Not people who are telling you negative things every now and then. You are, I don't know what kind of a person you are. You cannot do this. They kill your self-moral. Surround yourself with good people. Then number 7 or 6, keep it positive. Boys and girls, understand the word positive. Understand the word positive. So keep it positive. What does that word mean? Positive affirmations and positive self-talk are key to building your self-esteem. Remember, we are talking about your self-esteem. So what are the things you tell yourself? Do you tell yourself negative words? I don't know what my future will be. Me, I'm afraid. I don't know whether we'll make it. Those kind of I don't know, they kill your moral. Please, can you speak positive words about yourself? Have what you call self-talk. I want to give you an example about myself. This is one of the things. Today, I thank God that I can stand before people and preach and talk and share. Don't think that it is something that just took place overnight. When I was young, a young boy, I could be walking on the road and speaking to the what vegetation around me. Even if it is preaching, that is how I began my desire to preach. Just speaking God's word to the things that are not existing. But I believed that I was addressing people. That has brought me to the point of today, I can have the privilege to stand before the church and preach. I can stand before people and talk. I can share with you because I used to speak to the things that were not existing, though I believed in the power. Now, you are your own worst critic. You are your own worst critic. When you talk about negative things about yourself, you are criticizing yourself. So you're the best person who can criticize yourself or who can tell yourself that you need to wake up and think about that future that we are all talking about. So when you use negative self-talk, you may eventually begin to believe it. Focus on telling yourself how great you are or how you can and will achieve your goals to maintain a positive focus. Always speak positive things. If you are in high school, maybe you are in Form 1, Form 2, or Form 3, you don't know the grade you are going to get, but you can still start speaking into that grade. You can start calling yourself, I am an A student. I am an A student. I am an A student. And that becomes part of you. So your system will get used to being an A student and you will start working towards being an A student. Take an internet or social media detox. I'm saying social media. I'm not here to criticize social media. I am here to say that social media is a platform that you can use to build a strong man in you. In fact, I have said a point. Mr. Tieno, you have taken out the sharing. Okay, thank you.
Sorry for that.
Oh, thank you. So we are saying that in today's digital world, boys and girls, you are born at a time when you have all the privilege to learn. You can learn through YouTube. You can learn through all these platforms. So use them on a very positive way. So there is that point that is a study that was done in 2017 that says by Simon Fraser University that showed that higher internet usage led to increased body dissatisfaction in women. And I'm talking to girls, girl child. You know, girls or women love their bodies. They love their shape, how they want to appear in the society. And because people go to social media, they find there are women with some shape and they are like, no, this is a kind of a person I want to be. Remember one of the points that I began with, stop comparing yourself with. So social media can help you to accept yourself or to feel dissatisfied, satisfied about yourself. I'm here calling my girls. Whether you see a small girl with I don't know what kind of a shape, please accept who you are. Stop frustrating yourself. It will take out your self-esteem, and yet you have a future to work towards. So that is why I'm telling us, let's use these platforms to help us build ourselves. Number 8, do what you love. What is it that you love? What is it that you love? Do what you love. Which leads nicely into the next tip, simply to do what you love. What you love. I love talking to people. Right now, I feel so satisfied that I'm talking to you so that I help you understand how to uncover your future, to understand how you can build your self-esteem. I love doing that. I love talking and seeing that people can move from negative mindset to positive mindset. It is what I love. What do you love? If you want to become a doctor, you cannot wait to become a doctor in future. You must start it now. Uncover your potential today. What are the things that you're doing that are helping you to build that desire of being a doctor? Do what you love. When we are doing something we enjoy, our brains naturally release what we call endorphins and make us happy. I am happy because I'm talking to you. So boys and girls, is it reading the books? Is it just walking with friends? Is it taking a bath or going for a swimming or watching a movie? And what kind of a movie do you watch? Because what you consume will help you to build yourself towards uncovering your future. So make an effort to set aside time to do things that make you happy. I don't want to say that sleeping can make someone happy. Someone who is thinking about future, because there is this word I normally say, the colder your blanket today, the warmer your future. The warmer your blanket today, the colder your future. I know my boys and girls who did class 8, it is like they came to an end. They still have 3 months. Please get yourself to reading. Get yourself to doing something that makes you happy, not sleeping or being on social media 24/7. Social media is good, but use it sparingly. Sparingly. Create time for other physical interaction with your parents. Create time for physical interaction with your friends. Create time with physical reading of books so that you grow yourself to become someone great. Live in the present. I'm talking about present. That is today. Boys and girls, we have our past and we have a future that we are talking about. The past is already behind us. We are here today. But again, we must also think about tomorrow. Let us not overthink about tomorrow that we will frustrate our efforts of living today. However, something that is of the past, we should learn a lesson from it. What am I saying? You can't change the past, and you have no way of predicting the future. Future is God granted, because I can die today. My future has ended. So as we all think about future, we must also remember to pray to God to give us gift of life. And as he gives us gift of life, then we must continue practicing for that future. So it is important that you focus on here and now. If I am a standard 6, that is where I am. Class 8 will come, but before it comes, let me concentrate in class 6. If I am a Form 1 or a Form 2, Form 4 will come. Let me just be happy Form 4 will come, but I should live in the present. Concentrate on my Form 2 work, Form 3 work, Class 8 work, Class 7 work, or whichever level you are. Sawa sawa. So focus on here and now to establish a positive outlook. What changes can you make today to improve your self-esteem? That's a question. Ask yourself, what can I do like Peter Shkuku to improve my self-esteem? What can you do? Yes, do it. Worrying about what is to come will cause you more stress, and stress has caused people to depression, and depression has caused people to something else. So I'm calling upon us, let us think about live today. If you focus on here and now, you can prepare for anything that comes your way. Where are you today, boys and girls? What kind of a person are you? Do you accept yourself the way you are, or you are thinking about a bigger person in future? Yes, it is good, but don't think that it will stress you. My next point is that share your feelings. Share your feelings. I'm here to say that we are human beings and we are made of emotions. That is who we are. We all get angry. We all get happy. We all get bored. All these things are there. But understand your feelings and share. If you are a girl child who cannot open up and share with the mother some of the things that are disturbing you, they will kill your self-esteem slowly, slowly. it might be like a slow death kind of a thing for you. So share your feelings. Last but not least, know that Calgary Counseling Center is always here to, okay, our hours here is a study room. We are here always to support you on your journey to positive self-esteem. We are here. Share with your parents, share with your friends, share with your teachers. When you are in school, open up. Don't close yourself too much, and yet you need some support. Don't close yourself and you need support. Get out and share. That is how you can boost your self-esteem, because we want you to become great men and great women in the future. Future is there for people who prepare for it today. So you have today to prepare for it. And that is why the word today, as I normally say, as single O, that means you have one opportunity. The word tomorrow as three O's, you have several opportunities to work and better yourself. Mr. Tiena, I don't know whether my presentations are over because
Not Bwana Shikuku, that was a great piece, huh? That was
okay.
a great piece coming from your end. And just to make sure that it settles in, there is a part number, I think number 5 or number 6, that was talking about keeping it positive and also surrounding yourself with people that are going to motivate you and drive you through. There is this story about Derek Raymond, the 1992 Olympic champion. And that is now the part that I want just to play in the next 1 minute for guys just to see how it happened and what happens next.
Sawa sawa.
So that is why I've just decided to put a pause kidogo on it and bring the whole story about Derek Redmond. We want to raise ourselves up. We want to raise our spirits up. And so here is the story of Derek on how he managed to overcome the same. What happens to you when you are in the middle of a competition and everything crumbles? That is now the point that you want to see. This great guy, American Olympic champion by that particular time. the story of Derek Redmond. So inspiring, and I believe that in every journey that we are taking, as much as I told you that we are going to fail in one way or another in our journey, but we must keep it positive, as one of the things that Bwana Shikuku has talked about. And at the same time, he has talked about friendship. Look at the friendship, the connection, the bond that the father had with the son. And that takes us now, Bwana Shikuku, to the next part of this particular story of uncovering ourselves, the power of peer relations. Bwana Shikuku, take it away.
Thank you, bro. Once again, I appreciate that story. Is so inspiring. It has also reminded me of a story of a Tanzania athlete who was sent by his country to go and compete. And while he went to the track to participate in the marathon, along the way he fell down and also encountered injuries. And people had his competitors had finished the race. With that injury, he chose to still run to complete the race. And when the media personalities came to ask him, and why did you have to finish the race and yet others had finished and again you encountered injuries? He said, he told the media personalities that when I was sent by my country, I was sent to come and complete the race. Now, boys and girls, it is not who becomes first. It is all about who finishes the race. We cannot all be the first in everything. Appreciate that even in a class, there is a number one, but there is also a last person. That last person is not last in life. That last person has something in life. So we are talking about power of peer relationship. Peer relationship. Boys and girls, I know that this is something that is so important and critical for you, whereby it helps you to build your emotion, your skills, such as being empathetic, being cooperative, and also learning to solve problems and being strategic. So having friends is very important. And we are here to ask you, what kind of friends do you have? How do they shape you up? How do they build your personal ability? How do they help you to understand that you can become a better man in the future or a better woman in the future? Do you develop being empathetic, the skill of solving problems and all the rest? So how to make and keep good friendships? I would have asked us maybe to write, let me just do that. As I continue doing my presentation, you can just write for me in the chat, please. How do you maintain friendship? Good friendship, not just friendship. How do you maintain good friendship? And some of the points that I've written here is be friendly. Be friendly. Be friendly. No man in this life is an island. No human being is an island. What do I mean? We don't exist on our own. We exist because we are born of mothers. We are born of fathers. We have our siblings. We have people in our surroundings. So from the point we are born, we have people in our surrounding. We reach a time in our age where we start building relationships. And we are talking about healthy relationships, not just relationships. So number one, there is a secret to friendship. Try to like it rather than try to be liked. I know most of us, we struggle with, why is it that I am not liked? I am not loved. You're struggling to be loved. The first thing is to give out love. Boys and girls, love. Someone has said we correct each other when wrong. That is good. Yes, when someone is wrong, you correct each other. You correct with love. Don't let wrongdoing. Yes.
Ruth has also said that being trustworthy, being kind, and being honest.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Someone has talked about correcting each other, and those words you've said, those are powerful ways of keeping friendship. But boys and girls, I am telling us, let us try to be liked. let us try to like first before we want to be liked. What you give is what you receive back. Sawa sawa. Genuinely like others and give friendship, and it will come back to you in time. Friendship is being shaped. Fire it up, and it usually comes straight back at you. So, like, if I love you, you know, we are talking to you here because there is the aspect of loving you. There is the aspect of feeling so good about you. So, in turn, we will be loved after after you've seen, oh, Peter has really made an impact in my life. He deserves some love. Then number two, remember names. You know, you cannot be a friend when you don't know names. Please, there's power in names. Names brings identity. Yeah, Mr. Tino was talking about identity. I am Peter Shikuku. That is who I am. So, if I forget my friend's name and I call him my friend, you know, you can't call your friend friend. Friend. Friend is not a name. I have my name. I am called Peter. Call me Peter. Call me
Nani?
Leonard. Call me Zadok. Call me names. Call me Gloria. We have names. So people love it when you use their names. It says that you are interested in them, and it's a great way to help build a friendship. Sawa sawa. Listen. There is power of listening. I don't know what kind of a person you are. Could you be a person who speaks a lot and doesn't listen? Or you're a person who listens a lot? There is power in listening. When you are with your friends, is it that you want to dominate or also to share? You know, there are people who would want to, they are the dominators. Yeah, they have dominated. So not just for a gap in the conversation where you can say your bit, but really listen. There is power in listening. It helps you it helps you to keep what we call eye contact with the person who is sharing with you, your friend. You are able to speak out as you also hear from him. Be friendly, and remember names, listen. Let's go to the next part. Let's go to the next. Stick to the bottom line. Oh, boys and girls, you're talking about be honest and tell the truth in your friendships. I hate liars. I don't know how much you hate them. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, I suppose, the Bible talks about 6 things that God hates. One of them, a lying tongue. When you want to become a great man or woman in the future, please try as much as you can to be as honest and truthful as you would want others to be to you. Dishonesty causes what we call unnecessary problems. Sooner or later, it always catches up on you and can break friendships down. You know, if I realize that you are not a trustworthy friend, you are not an honest friend, what do I have to do with you? You are not helping me secure my future. In fact, you are a disgrace to my future. So please, boys and girls, let's be honest people. Let's tell the truth in our friendships. And then say a good word. Good word. Put downs and nicknames can be funny, but they cut straight to the ego. There are some things when you tell me, you call me names, I don't know what names you can call me. You know, we work with people who can give you nicknames. If you are a talkative, they call you talkative man. If you are a silent, you don't speak a lot, but you do things, they can call you silent killer. Those things can kill your ego. But here we are talking about people instead pass around a few compliments. Tell me, oh, Peter, I am very happy with your presentation. You look, wow, you have dressed yourself smart. Always make compliments, because compliments help us to complete our egos and our emotions. People sometimes don't know how to handle them. They probably don't get many. You know, you find somebody just telling you negative things. We are here to tell you, please, in your friendships, make sure that you make genuine compliment about your friends. Tell them, you meet them, look at how they are dressed, build some positive attitudes in them. Wow, and today you're looking gorgeous, you're looking elegant. Wow, I am happy. Look at your dress, make some compliment. Love is an action, not a feeling. Sawa sawa. It is an action. So like Mark Twain said something, I can live 3 months on one good compliment. Even myself, 3 months. You make a compliment about me, I'll be very happy in the next few months. Keep secrets. I know some of us here, secret keeping. Secret keeping. Keep secrets. When your friends tell you their secrets, it means that they trust you. Why do you want to kill their trust? By sharing and telling, going around and telling, you know what, so and so, you know what, so and so, you know what? No, it is wrong. It is wrong. Keep secrets. The next one, remember special times. I love birthdays, and when my friends are are celebrating their birthdays, I go to my Facebook page or I go to their walls and I write some good positive compliment and send to them. We have to celebrate one another. If it is Christmas, I celebrate. Valentine's, Love Day. It is not just between married people. Even me as an adult with you as a child, we need to show love to each other. Let me carry a flower to you, or you bring a flower to me. We share all these things. Anniversaries, maybe mommy and daddy are celebrating when they got married, when their wedding was done. They celebrate. Mother's Day, Father's Day. I can't wait to celebrate my Father's Day, my Mother's Day. If it is a special day, take time out to celebrate it, boys and girls. If it is your friend's birthday, maybe you could pitch it in and buy your friend lunch, or even better, get them a birthday cake. It helps you to build friendship. And that helps you to think about a future. Because if you want to become a blessing in future, it starts from today. Remember, everything we are saying are helping us to build ourselves for a future of tomorrow. Then the next thing is respect space, respect space. Nothing kills a friendship faster than suffocation. Why do you suffocate me? If I am not talkative and you are like, you're not talking every now and then, me, I hate the way you are behaving. That is who I am. Please, why do you want to force me to talk too much? I cannot be you. You cannot be me. So give your friends some space. People hate to feel manipulated. Stop manipulating people with your ideas. Boxing people, or you want to be the owner, you are owning things. Especially be aware of showing offense if your friend wants to spend time with others or on their own. You know, when I tell you, please, today I'll not visit you, I just want to have time with myself. It is good, accept, so help me. Can you be too friendly? Maybe. You can scare people off if they think that you are coming on too fast. Stop scaring people, but also surround yourself with people who will help you. When you give people space, they will give you space. That space is very important even for you, because it will help you to go and sit down with yourself and plan for a future. Think about a future. Think about the life you want to become. Think about that kind of great man you want to become when you have space and when you sit down and have time for yourself. The next thing, be yourself. Oh, be yourself. Who are you? I am Peter Shikukum. That is my name. That is who I am. I have to be proud of myself. I don't have maybe long beards. There is somebody maybe of my age and has kept. I cannot be them. I have to accept myself. If I am short, it is me. If I am medium, it is me. If I am tall, it is me. So everyone likes to make a good impression. But sometimes that means people pretend to be someone that they are not. Drop the mask. I'm not talking about mask like this. You know, let me say, if you cover your mouth like this, people may not know what you are covering. But when you remove it like this, people can see. If I have a gap here, people can see. What do I mean? Drop anything that is not about you. Stop living a fake life. Stop giving yourself pressure in the things you cannot control. So, but sometimes that means people pretend to be someone that they are not. Drop the mask. Let people see the real you. Sawa sawa. Because when they know the real you, they will help you, they will correct you, they will encourage you, they will tell you where you are wrong. In actual fact, masks repel people. Pretense. You are far more likely to be well liked when people know what you are. Transparent, open, and honest. Transparent, open, and honest. Then the next thing is the art of self-disclosure. What do I mean here? There are parts to you near the surface that you don't mind about seeing and knowing about. Things like your taste in music. We have all taste in music. I don't know if I may ask you, please write them to me there on the chat. What are the musics that you love? Is it R&B? Is it G bongo? I don't know those names. I know gospel. I'll talk about gospel very strongly. Worship songs. If you can write, if it is a sijui kuna reggae, whichever. But boys and girls, whatever you consume can build you, because every music has what we call a spirit behind it. You have to know that. Is it the taste of music? Is it the choice of sports? Do you love football? And if you love football, which are the teams that you support? Which are these players? If you love volleyball, which are the teams you support? Which are the players you support? Which sport do you love? Which is your hobby? Do you love reading? If you love reading, how do you respect that hobby? If you are a good swimmer, how much do you go out? Because the effort you put as a child today will help to build the strong personality in you for a future. Sawa sawa, a future. That weight, that pressure you put into something you love most will help you even to build a good future. You also have deeper levels, your fears. We also have fears. What do you fear most? Your feelings, your beliefs. This is what I believe. This is what I'm feeling. Those are deep personal stuff that you don't just share with anyone. You know, there's something I can be too afraid. I don't have to go around telling everyone. Those are mine. Sawa sawa. So that is what we call self-disclosure. Part of being socially skilled is knowing how to manage your layers. Some people let people into their inner layers far too quickly. You meet somebody today, you've told them, you know, I am this, you what, I do what. No, please always take time before you start disclosing. Someone is misbehaving on our screen. Okay.
No, it's okay. No, Bana Shikuku.
Oh, yes.
As we go now to the last part there,
Yeah.
I want to reiterate on point number 9. Huh?
Sawa
And
sawa.
this is very, very important based on our family setup. Be
Yeah.
yourself, and being ourselves here does not only refer to as an individual, I'll also try to put as a family. There are
Sure.
things that our family stands for, the values, the virtues that we stand for. So you find that maybe at your place there is this that is happening, and your friends are having freedom in terms of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you start telling your mommy or your daddy, you know, you stop being hard on us because even akina nani wanafanya hivi hivi na sisi hapa ndio tuko hivi hivi hivi. Or it can also be on the food. You might find that based on the hard economic times in your family, things are not going the way it's supposed to be. So you find yourself getting or consuming one particular type of a meal almost in a week. And you want to compare yourself with your friend that they get takeaways from KFC, from Java, and different other areas. That brings the pressure in the family, and by the end of it all, it causes a lot. It brings the issue of people not relating well, and conflict comes in. So as we relate as being ourselves, let it also be, let us understand that it's about us personally and also within our family too. Thank you, Banashikuku.
Yeah, talking like a father. You know, as a father you have the principles that you've set in the family. Children appreciate the principles set in the family. Let's go to the last part. I think I've talked about the part of disclosure. Oh, I'm
Yes,
done.
yes, yes.
I'm done. Allow me just to say thank you, boys and girls, for listening to me and for allowing me to speak. It is always a pleasure that we help you understand how to uncover your future. We all pray that you have a blessed future. We all pray that you become these great men and women you are dreaming to be. You are being told if you want to become a president, start practicing or behaving like one. I am a pastor today. It did not just start. I have told you, I used to preach to the vegetation. They were not hearing, but I could tell them. The Bible says, so if you want to become someone, you want to become a pilot, and you are still in that age, 12 or 13.
True.
Just take yourself in the atmosphere through just imagination, because you are talking about imagination. Imagine you are in the plane, you are pressing the button, and there is a co-pilot next to you, and you're telling people, silence please, welcome on board, this is flight number what you are, at least start practicing. But we wish you all the best. Build your self-esteem, build good relationship. God bless you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Banachikuku, for the comical presentation that it was. Now, boys and girls, I'm sure that Mr. Shikuku has been a blessing to us in all that he has done. And we have packaged ourselves in a way that from here, you know what to do. You know that friends can affect your future. You also know that self-esteem can also affect your future. And as I welcome now the next speaker, I want you to be keen with this. There are things that might look like they are out of the ordinary. They are not out of the ordinary, but they're ordinary to us. One of them is maybe you're having a gap in between in your teeth. The dental formula, you might be having a gap as a result of an accident. Or to some, it might be a burn caused by something. And as we grow, these things, we start becoming aware of ourselves that we now understand that these are bad things to us. And so in the process, we start looking at them as a problem. And in the process, they start affecting our self-esteem. There is a story of a young guy, I've forgotten the name, who lacks the legs and the limbs and is a motivational speaker around the world.
It's
Regardless
called,
of
sorry,
what is his name,
Otieno. It's called Nick Visijic.
Nick, I will use the first name, Nick.
Yeah.
Now, that's true. Nick doesn't have the legs nor the hands, but that is not stopping him from impacting the world. So you might have a malfunction in one way or another, but look at it as an opportunity of changing the world. Don't look down upon yourself because you have a gap, so wewe umebaki hapo hapo. Maybe you have a ban, so you don't want to express yourself, you don't want to socialize yourself with people. Be confident. Be confident because it is all about you. The hero lies in you and not in any other person. So welcome me. Allow me now to welcome um, the final panelist that is going to take us through this in a short while. She's called Reverend Teresa Washera, and she is a pastor with the New Hope Churches. She's also a counselor, and she's having BA in counseling psychology from Presbyterian University of East Africa, and also diploma in theology. Now, with her wisdom, I'm sure that you're going to learn more about the next part of it. So, Terry, please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Bwana Otieno. And once again, good afternoon, young boys and girls. I want to believe that I'm audible, that you can see me.
Yes, you are audible.
That you can hear me. Wow.
We can.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for this moment of time. As we get to the next session, I know it has been a long moment of my young boys and girls sitting down to just listen. It must have been a bit not very easy as much as they are listening. So as I start off, I request each one of you to just, in the position that you're in, just take a deep breath of in and out. 1, 2, 3, in, out.
Yeah.
The next one, in, out.
Yes.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And so now we can start off our next session. And my topic is about self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Those are two words that are joined together and they mean quite a lot. There is the self and there is the awareness about it. So what is self-awareness? And the description that I put there for us is that self-awareness is about knowing who we are. Asking ourselves, what are my strengths and weaknesses? What are my drives and personalities? What are my habits? What are my values? So it's about asking myself, who am I? What are my strengths and all that? Then this self-reflection incorporates any personal feedback presented to us. So apart from me asking myself who I am and my strengths, then I also consider, what do people say about me? What do people tell me about myself? Maybe when I've done something, what do they say about it? Maybe when I've talked, what do they say about it? The personal feedback that I get, I also put it into some consideration. So self-awareness helps us to identify both opportunities and threats for personal and professional growth and development. So what we are saying this, that as we look at self-awareness, the main goal that comes with self-awareness is that it helps us to identify both opportunities and threats. And you can see I have bolded that wording, both opportunities and threats, because when I know who I am, then I will be able to know the opportunities that are there for me. I will be able to know the threats that can be there for me. And having understood those ones, then I'll be able to move on and have a good personal and professional growth and development. So that is about self-awareness. So in the next few minutes, because it will be just a few minutes, I'll be talking about this self-awareness. And I want to thank God for Bwana Shikuku because he has touched most of them in a different way. He has touched most of them in a different way. So I'll be just concluding or taking over on a few of what he has not done. So thank you, Bwana Shikuku, for also having worked on some of them. So in self-awareness, there are key areas that we need to look at. There are key areas that we need to look at. And one of them is about my personality traits. Each of us, we must accept and understand that we have different personality traits. We are different persons with different traits altogether. Some of us are extroverts, others are introverts. By this I mean, some of us are very talkative, very outgoing, very outspoken. Those are the extroverts. They are just up and about, up and down. They are just there, talking too much, socializing too much. Those are the extroverts. Some of us are introverts. They are just there. They are very quiet. They are very keen on what is happening. Even as they talk, they are very keen on the words that they are using. They don't just talk anyhow. Before they talk, they have calculated the wording and then they put it into the air. So we have different personality traits. So in self-awareness, you must understand, what is my personality trait? Am I an extrovert? Am I an introvert? Who am I? Then number two is about my strengths. All of us have different strengths. Some of us, our strengths are the family support. Our family support us too much. They are there for us. We have the social network. That is our strength. that we can hold on, the life skills that we have gained throughout this short period that we have in life. We have gained various life skills. That is a strength. The body energy, our bodies are very strong. We are able to run up and down and do many things. That is a strength. The health that we have, because again, when you're not healthy, you may not be able to do many things as much as you want. So the health that I have is a strength. The academic achievements. So far, some of you have just winded up in your class 8, others in form 4. That is an achievement because there are many that were not able to come to that level. Wengine waliacha wakiwa class 7 and that was it. Others in form 2, form 3, and they called it off. So your academic achievement of whatever level, that is an achievement and that is a strength unto yourself. Then we also have some social achievements. Some of us are very good footballers. So that is a social achievement whereby when I go out there, I am recognized. I'm a good footballer. So it's good to know what are my strengths. What are my strengths? Then the other key thing is about my weaknesses. My weaknesses, because again, when you have a strength, there are also some areas that you have some weaknesses. And some of the weaknesses are something like lack of confidence. So I want to do something, but I'm not confident. So sometimes you find others doing something and you tell yourself, I think I can also do it. But then when you start doing it, you feel like, I don't have the confidence. I'm not okay. I'm not sure that I'll make it. So lack of confidence, that is a weakness itself. Others have trouble to say no. So like now, you young ones, there is a lot of peer pressure just by the fact that many of you are not able to say no. When you're told by your friends, your peer friends, that let's go to this place, let's go to this other place, let's do ABCD, you don't have the guts, the energy to say no. That is a weakness because at times you need to stand on your ground and say no to ABCD. Another weakness could be something like being so detailed. You know, as much as you're doing some things with others, when they start working on them, you are not very quick in starting. Why? Because you want to get every detail about it. As I get into it, what is this about? How is it going to come out? You are so detailed. It's a weakness, but at the same time, it can also be a strength on another line. It can be a strength on another line. So being so detailed is a weakness in a way. Then again, also not able to let go. So maybe you had a conflict with a friend, and this is a person that you didn't say was my best friend. You shared so many of your secrets together. And then along the way, this friend betrayed you or said something about you. And out of that, you got so offended and you have carried it with yourself year after year. It has been, you have been saying, this person, I will never forgive. I will never work with him. I will never talk to them. So you are not able to let go. That's a weakness because again, we are not alike as Shukuku said. We need each other. Maybe I met you yesterday. I talked bad about you yesterday, but I have learned along the way that what I did about you was not the right thing. So maybe I have corrected my errors and the mistakes that I did. So you should also be able to let go and make the friendship back again. Again, also another weakness could be something like impatience. You are very impatient with yourself, you are very impatient with many things. When people tell you we go and then you're already prepared and they're not even coming and you start saying, what has less kaida na wow. Every time they say we are going, they take the whole of their time. You are very impatient. Sometimes it's just good to be patient. Another weakness could be something like difficult working on one item for long hours. You have been given duties and responsibilities maybe by your parents. You have been told to work on a certain issue. And then this issue is taking the whole day and you thought it would take just maybe about 2 hours. And because of that, you get so offended, you even forget about it, you stop doing it, you leave your friends and you leave your siblings working on it. You have difficult working on one item for long hours. That could be a weakness. So another key area that you're talking about, as you're saying with self-awareness, is about my values. My values. My values, most of our values are guided by our upbringing. In other words, they are guided by where we come from, our families. They somehow dictate into our values. Some of these values could be the faith in God. The faith in God, that could be a value of its own kind, you know? And then other values would be something like our sorry, it's not seeing. Okay, the faith in God, that could be one value. Another value would be that in our family, we value education. Kuna wengine in their families, they are less bothered about education. So in our family, they value so much about education. And so you as a person, you also value that education. Others, they value they value the element of being of socializing. That's a value unto them, and so they like socializing. From childhood, you are used to seeing your parents bringing friends back at home, socializing with others. So it's a value of its own kind. So most of our values are dictated or guided by the upbringing we have from our families. So another key area is about my body. My body. It also helps us to understand, to come to the position of understanding or having an awareness about ourselves. The sexual anatomy. We must understand that we have different phases and the accompanying emotional and physical changes. As we continue growing year after year, there are many changes that come in our lives. We are in different phases even now. The meeting that we have this afternoon, we have young boys and girls from the age of 12 to the age of 19. So those ones in the age of 12 could be experiencing different things from the ones in the age of 19. So we are in different phases in this life. And these phases, they have their accompanying emotional and physical changes. So when you understand the sexual anatomy about yourself, your body, it is very helpful because it helps you to do many other things. When you understand the sexual energy in you, and then you combine that sexual energy with the values that have been placed in you, then it is good for you, because we also must understand that having the sexual energy is very important. It is very good because it is God-given. So it is good, but you combine it with your values and your strength and all that. Another key area is about my habits. My habits are those, it's about identifying the good and the bad behaviors that we see routinely. Each of us must accept and say that I like doing this. I do this most of the time. So you have good behavior and you have bad behavior. So try to identify them. What are these good behaviors? What are these bad behaviors that I have? What are these things that I do routinely? And when you understand them, then you are good to go in the area of self-awareness. Then another one is about my emotions. We must all accept and agree that we are emotional people. We are emotional people. We were created as an emotional being, meaning that different timings, we have different emotions in our life. There are times that we are very happy. There are times that we are a bit sad. There are times we're just there. We have different emotions every day. So human being is an emotional being. Our feelings impact and affect the way we think and the way we act. So when we know our emotions, then you'll be able to know, then why did I do this? Because sometimes you are just angry, you're just annoyed, and out of that, when something comes to you, maybe like a cat comes to you, those who have cats at home, you just find yourself, you're knocking it up and down, or maybe your sibling, a younger child in your house comes and tells you, Mary, Arnold, you know, I want ABCD, and you don't even want to give a listening, as Chikuku said. You don't even want to give a listening because you are emotionally down. So the only thing that you do, you act by hitting the child to go away. So we must understand that our feelings, our emotions, they impact and affect our thoughts and our actions. So it is very good and very helpful for us to be able to understand. Emotional self-awareness helps one to have control over the emotions. It helps you to have control over your emotions. Then finally, it's about my needs. Each of us has some psychological needs, such as self-esteem, affection, belongingness, achievement, self-actualization, power and control. We have one theory that is by a person called Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow hierarchy of needs. It helps us to understand the levels of needs for different people. So each of us have some psychological needs that are leveled at different levels depending on individuals. And somehow all this, they affect our intrapersonal and interpersonal relationship. By this I mean they affect our own relationships with ourselves, because you must relate with yourself first. Before I relate with the Pastor Shikuku, I must have first related with myself and understood myself and loved myself before I go to relate with others. So that is intrapersonal relationship. Then I must also have a good interpersonal relationship. My relationship with others. How is my relationship with others out there? So when I understand my needs, then I'll be able to relate with the others in a better way. Needs cause motivation, and if not met, they can cause frustration, they can cause conflict, and they can cause stress. We must understand this, that needs, they cause motivation. Motivation is whereby you feel energized to do something, you feel strengthened to do something, you feel encouraged to do something. Motivation. So needs cause motivation, and if they are not met, they can cause, we have said, they can cause frustration, they can cause conflict, and they can cause stress. My young boys and girls, what are we saying before I go to the benefits? We are saying that each of us is unique in a different way. We are all unique, we are all complex, we are all diverse. We must appreciate and accept this fact that we are all unique. No wonder the Bible says in Psalms 139 that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made because we are all unique. Now, the next slide is about the benefits of self-awareness. So we have said we have key areas, and now we want to know what are the benefits of self-awareness. So after knowing myself, what next? Sasa amesema nijielewe, nijijue. So what next? The benefit of self-awareness is what we want to look at. So self-awareness equips an individual in various ways. It equips you. In other words, self-awareness is about equipping you. And if you can remember when you were studying, we said it helps you to identify the opportunities and the threats. So it equips you as an individual. So it equips you in various ways. Some of these ways are like focus of attention. So when you are self-aware about yourself, then your attention will be more focused on the things that you have strength in. Your attention will be on the things that can help you to go to another level. We have said that this meeting of today is about uncovering my future, uncovering my future. So when you're well aware about yourself, then your focus will be on what I want to be tomorrow, not on what I messed yesterday, because maybe yesterday I messed and my family members are very bitter with me. They have even told me that they don't want to see me in the house. Yeah, it is true, I may have messed, but my focus should not be on that failure. My focus should not be on what has happened today. My focus of attention should be on what can I do to better my tomorrow. So self-awareness helps you on focus of attention. Number two, self-awareness helps you to manage stress. One time last year, I think we talked about stress and stress management in this forum. We talked about stress and stress management. And one thing we said is that stress is there every day. Stress is there every day. And sometimes we may not avoid it. We may not avoid it. And stress can be positive, can be taken positively, can be taken negatively. So depending on how you take it, stress can build you and can destroy you. So when you understand about yourself, then you'll be able to manage stress so that whenever stress comes onto you, you take it positively, you work on it, and then you better yourself. Stress management. Number three is about skills development. When I'm aware about myself, I know the skills that I have. I know my life and difficult life. Then out of that, I'll be able to know what kind of skills do I need to work on. So skills development, it helps you so much to work on them. Number four is about motivation. Motivation. So when I know and understand myself, I'll be motivated. I'll be motivated to do better. I'll be motivated to go higher. I'll be motivated to work harder. I'll be motivated in area A and B. I'll be motivated. So self-awareness equips you in the area of motivation. Number 5 is decision-making skills. Some of us, as we said, we have a weakness of not saying no. Anything that we are told, it is a yes, following up. No wonder the peer pressure that sometimes make us mess in our personal life. But when I am aware about myself, I'll be able to make well-informed decisions. I will have decision-making skills within myself. So whenever even people tell me to do one or two things, I'll be able to do them in the best way possible, that I know it will be for my benefit and for the betterment of my tomorrow. So decision-making skills. Number 6, self-awareness unveils your potential. It unveils your potential. We are saying it helps in the exploitation of strengths and coping skills on our weaknesses. So in other words, what you're saying is that as much as each of us has weaknesses, we must appreciate these weaknesses again, because somehow they also help us in one way or another if they're taken positively. So as we exploit on our strengths, then through self-awareness, we are also able to cope up and deal with the weaknesses that we have. I'll be able to understand it is true, that is me. I am an introvert, but again, I must do 1, 2, 3 things. So I'm able to cope up with the weaknesses that I have as I relate with others, as I move on with my profession, as I move on with my education, I'm able to cope up with the weaknesses. For example, if I'm an introvert, then it means, for example, those ones that have just finished Form 4, I know very soon you start going to colleges, and some of you may be wanting to go and do maybe something like marketing. Even if you are an introvert, it will be the wrong career going to do marketing, because marketing needs somebody who is up and about, who is talkative, who is a go-getter. That is what marketing needs. So again, when you know and understand the kind of a person that you are, your personal trait, it will help you on the kind of skills, on the kind of career that you need to go and work on as you go to college. You don't just go to do a certain career because your parents have said it, because your brothers and sisters have chosen for you. No, you go and do a career that is in line with your values, with your skills, with your understanding, with all that pertains about you. Self-awareness unveils the potential in you. Number 7, self-awareness helps you to understand your purpose. Each of us must accept and know that all of us, we have a purpose. We were created with a purpose. It is God that created all of us. Young boys and girls, it is God that created you and me. And He created us with a purpose. Each of us being unique, there is a unique purpose that God wants you to perform. There is a unique purpose that God wants you to accomplish the time that He has given you in this life. So self-awareness will equip you to be able to know and understand, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? So boys and girls, that is all about our self-awareness. And so as a wider, what are we telling ourselves? As a wider, what are we telling ourselves as we learn about self-awareness? We are telling ourselves that as we unveil our future, one thing we want to be is that we want to be people that have self-awareness within ourselves. We are people that have self-awareness within ourselves. So my dear young boys and girls, I have a homework for you. I have homework for you. However, this homework, you may not do it right now, but I want to give you a homework, no matter it is called homework, because I want you to go and do it as you go back home, as you sit down with yourself, as you reflect on yourself. My homework for you is 1, ask for feedback on your personality, on your habits, on your needs, on your values from your family and social network. Ask. Sometimes it's good to ask. It's good to ask. However, I put it bold there. Note, it's not all feedback that may be accurate and honest, but it can give you some guide. It's not all feedback that may be accurate and honest, but it can give you feedback. That's why I'm saying, as you ask for this feedback, you don't just ask anybody. Ask your friends, ask your family members. If they are honest enough, they will help you to know and understand some of your weaknesses, some of your strengths, some of your habits, the good and bad habits, as we said. They'll help you to understand. And then as they tell you, note them down somewhere, because by and by, you should be working on them So as they give you those feedback, please ensure that you note them down somewhere so that by and by you can work on them. My homework number 2, go and prepare your own self-awareness test using the key areas that I've mentioned above. Now this one is about yourself, checking on yourself. It's not about now the feedback. It's about you yourself, trying to ask yourself, who am I? What are my values? What are my likes? What are my weaknesses and strengths? What am I? So go and prepare your own self-awareness test using the key areas that we have mentioned above. And out of that, I am sure and I know for sure that you'll be able to become a better person, and you will have unveiled and uncovered the person that is in you. Because what we see outside may be a different person who is inside. So go and uncover that person who is inside you, that you may be able to know the person. So that is my homework for you. That is my homework for you. And I want to believe that you have got something that can help you. We want you to be better people. It is our prayer, it's our desire for you young boys and girls, that you become better people. Some of us were never prepared when we were young. We never got anybody to prepare us. But somehow, life challenges have taught us, and they have helped us to also become aware about who we are. Life challenges have helped us along the way. But for you, thank God, because you have somebody who can tell you. So please, how we pray as Sunday room team, that you become better people tomorrow. That when we are aged and we are not able to do some of these things, you'll be there and you'll be reminding us. Remember what you told me? It is what has made me to be what I am. And again, also, you'll be able to mentor somebody else and bring up somebody else even to be a better person. So because our prayer and our desire is that the people that are coming up, they be better and better and better. That is our prayer and our desire. So go and do that homework for me and for yourself. And God is going to bless you in the name of Jesus Christ. So boys and girls, that is what I had for you. And I believe that you've been able to capture something that can be able to carry you to another level in the name of Jesus Christ. So with those few remarks, I'll do, maybe once you're through, I'll be able to pray for you afterwards. I want to give it back to Bwana Otieno. So that he can pick it up from there. Then I'll be able to pray for you, even as we're winding up the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Terry, Ma'am Terry, and Pastor Terry. That was a wonderful piece on the topic. Wonderful piece on the topic, and I hope that we have managed to acquire a lot of knowledge today. And remember, part of whatever we've talked about is to make sure that, not even part, for the posterity, we are here to make sure that we make your life better, we make your life informed. You need to be an informed person, a better version of what we are, a better version of what your parents are. Going to the future, the 21st century, we need people that are seeing the future, not people that are going to lie on their past. We need to lie and see what is ahead of us. Remember to look at the glass as half full, not as half empty. I've asked a question there, and there are three things that I've communicated to you. What are your major lessons in today's presentation? And you feel free to share your views here as we approach the end. And I've also talked about if you want to know about your personality, if you want to check on your personality, there is something that I've sent to you, a link that I've sent to you. It is called knowandlove.com /quiz hyphen landing then hyphen age. When you click there later, you will find you'll be in a position to play play different. It's more of a we have like 16 to 20 questions that are going uh, going to help you know yourself better. Are you a panda? Which type of personality are you? Madam Terry has talked about introvert and extrovert. In that particular story, in that particular link, you are going to know that they have expounded more in terms of different personalities. So go through them well, understand your personality, and feel free to share them even to us through the line that was sending you the passcode. You can say share them there through the line that was sending you the passcode, or you can also share it to studyroomke@gmail.com, so that we also understand you better when we interact. Now, going forward, as we finalize, I've received concerns. Someone has raised hand here. I've received concern, or not even concern, but someone saying of Peter. Peter, you want to talk? Peter, you have something to say. You have raised your hand. Okay, that's okay. People are sending their inputs. They're saying, let me read them. I've learned to be confident, not to push over, love myself. I've learned to develop or build on my self-esteem. I've learned to plan. Okay, those are part of the responses that I'm getting. You feel free to send your responses. But as we've come to the end of this all, we have a team here that might be staying home until July, and we have a team that will be coming back to school, going back to school from 10th. Now, for the team that is going to stay back home until July, this might be of interesting to you. One, I know that it will be an opportunity for you to explore different media, different things on internet. But I wish that you take that opportunity to write a story. Take that opportunity. If you are wishing, if you want to be a budding writer, then you don't need to be a grown up for you to write. Try at this particular time. Just try to piece your ideas together and see what will happen. You can use Amazon to publish your book free of charge. No money involved. But remember, when people buy it, when people read it through Kindle form, you will get money. So take advantage of that. 3 months is a whole period of time for you to come up with 2 stories. You don't need to come up with a 100 or 900 and something page book. You can talk about 30 pages book. I talk about a 100-page book and all that, all about you. Use your teachers, former teachers, your parents to guide you through. If you need help, also you can still talk to us at study room to guide you through how to deal with that. How to deal with that. Then two, for those people that are creators, the YouTubers, I know we have here that are looking in terms of coming up with contents, different contents. YouTube will help you do that. Create contents that are good, content that have moral values. Share them. By the end of it all, you never know. You might be the next influencer in town. You know the young girl that decided to say that she's not a Kenyan, she's a South African born. Mnajua naitwa nani? Elsie Majimbo. You know her? If you know her, then you know her age bracket and you know her content. Right now, she's an internet sensation. She's doing a lot. But remember, all that started by just doing this particular content. So if you're in Form 4, if you're done with Form 4, you are even in high school and you're going to finish, you are in primary, there's no age bracket for you to start coming up with contents that are going to inspire people. Then also read different stories, read different inspirational contents that are going to motivate you, to guide you towards being the person that you want. Then finally, participate in life skill activities, both at home and in a different forum. We have at this particular time we are having control in terms of socialization, but we have different forums that are going online. Participate in this particular forum. They are going to help you. They are going to build the best person in you. Don't just stay there and say it is going to be a matter of sleep, eat, sleep, watch. It won't help you. It won't help you. Someone is asking, how about when you, for example, crochet a scarf and want to sell it online? It is okay. It is okay so long as you make sure that it is for the purpose. It is for the purpose. I know of people here in this particular group that are even they have developed a mini apps for selling products. You can do that. You can do that. If you have content that you're selling, then if you're having a different account,
Doctor,
TikTok account,
will you
and
pay
what we
Steve this
call that,
milk?
sell
Usually,
parents products. If mommy is selling something, help sell mommy's product by magnifying it there in your account. Let's take advantage of internet to make positive impact in our lives. Okay, I want to end it there at this particular time. I want to end it there at this particular time. And these particular questions, we are going to send them to you. These questions, ask them and answer them every day. Find out if it is of benefit to you. For you to go to the future, you must be in a position you must be in a position for you to go to the future. You must be in a position to answer these questions in a good way almost every day. What activities motivates me the most? Understand them. Then what values are the most important to me? Is there a work goal I want to reach, uh, so that you make and you do what you make sense to that makes sense to you. Imagine you do not have to work any longer. How do you spend your day? What things would you regret if you did not have time to do or experience them now? What do you consider your life success at this time? What weaknesses do others point out to you? What weaknesses do you think you have? These are very key questions that are going to guide us through uncovering our future. If we do that, then the future is going to be bright. I want to finalize at that particular end by welcoming Pastor Terry. And remember, every weekend on Saturday, we have such particular programs. Next weekend, we are going to have a different program that will also be dealing with the age bracket and going to help us build the person that we want to be. So if you have been uplifted with this forum, please make sure that you subscribe for the next forum starting Tuesday, so that we are in a position to impact lives. Spread the word to your friends, your colleagues, wherever they are. And next time, allow your mommy or your daddy to participate too, so that they are in a position to understand this world that we are in. I wish you all the best, Madam Terry. Now this is the moment to pray for all of us that we are in a position to uncover our future.
Thank you. Thank you, Bwana Otieno, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bwana Shikuku. May the Lord bless you all. And so I just want to pray. I just want to pray for you as we wind up the glory and to the honor of God. So I'm just praying for you. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, I want to thank and to bless you for these young boys and young girls that have found time to be part of this program even today. Thank you because of their parents that have sacrificed towards making this a reality unto the young ones. God Almighty, I pray that this sacrifice will not go down like that, but it will have an impact into the lives of these young ones. Jehovah God, I'm praying that every word that these ones have heard, it will have an impact in their lives, in their future. The theme for the day was that we uncover even our future. God, I'm praying that in Jesus' name, may these young ones be able to see a brighter future for them in Jesus' name. Some of them have just finished their class 8, others have finished their form 4, and they don't know what the future has for them. Lord, I'm praying in Jesus' name that if there be anyone that feels discouraged, Lord, I pray that you may encourage such a word and uplift them in the name of Jesus Christ. And even the last King of glory, I pray that, Abba Father, you may uphold them in your favor, in your grace, in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, thank you so much. May you bless them as they go out, as they come back in Jesus' name. And even them that will be going back to schools, as when the schools open, oh Jehovah God, I'm praying that you give them good friends. I'm praying that you'll be able even to live as far their desires and the glory of the Lord in Jesus' name. Father, thank you so much. How we worship you and how we bless you. I cover each one of them with the blood of Jesus. The Bible tells me that the blood of Jesus speaks better things all the time. May the blood speak on their behalf. As they go out and they come back, may the blood speak on their behalf. May none of them be affected by the pandemic. In the name of Jesus Christ, I declare good health is their portion. I declare the favor of God is their portion. In the name of Jesus Christ, Lord, walk with them and guide them. Holy Spirit of God, you are a teacher. You are a reminder. Anytime that they feel like they're in a challenge, may you remind them. May you teach them the way to go. Father, we thank you and we bless you this evening. To you be the glory, to you be the honor. In the name of Jesus, we have prayed and even believed.
Amen.
Amen
Amen.
and amen.
Thank you, Madam Terry. May God bless you too.
Amen.
And to everyone, adios. Remember to believe in yourself. Remember to believe in yourself. I can see Nema, greet your brother. Thank you, everyone. Believe in yourself because the hero lies in you.